conversation is right. If you say tonight, baby, I might let you say.
No, girl. I think he is like really mad at me. He was supposed to come over last night and I didn't hear from him. He didn't call, nothing.
Tracy, give that fine man a break from all your bullshit before you run him off, girl.
Bullshit?
You know exactly what you be doing to these men, Tracy, so stop.
Good pussy problems is the only problem I have, baby. Okay? Listen, because all I be doing is minding the business that pays me.
And that's usually a man who got caught up too damn fast.
Ooh. Are you still going out tonight?
Yes, I am, and you should come with me.
I mean, I will. If Benny don't call me, he don't come over, I'll go out with you.
He isn't gonna call.
Oh my God, and how can you be so sure?
'Cause you just told me you may have stopped his bag, and men don't like when you come between them and their money.
Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV here on YouTube, the one place in the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. If this is your first time seeing me, definitely do me a favor, like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe. It's all free to do. Also, follow me on all my social medias, Instagram and Twitter at A Connection TV, and West the Critic, where you will find more of my reviews about all things cinema. If you also want to do me a favor, I have plenty of links down below that let you know what kind of guy I am and what I get into. I'm a designer and I'm a filmmaker as well. You can find my designs on actvshop.com and you can find my films and projects on watchactv.com. Anyways, I'm here to talk to y'all about The Last of Us episode 6. This show is just freaking phenomenal, okay? First of all, the acting, period, flawless. All of the actors, Bella Ramsey, Pedro Pascal, all of the actors, flawless, period. This is grade A film. This is grade A cinema. This is grade A storytelling. This is grade A acting. If you want to know how to act, watch the show. If you want to know how to write, watch the show. If you want to know how to film, watch the show. If you want to know what good cinematography is, watch the show. If you want to know what good editing is, watch this show. All A+. Show is phenomenal. Period. Courtney Glaudet needs to watch The Last of Us. Period. Okay? Anyway, shout out to everybody else watching my review of the reading. It's still like, I get comments every day. It's crazy. I'm just glad that y'all thought it was funny. I thought it was funny too. Anyways, but yeah, the writing, impeccable. Grade A writing. Marvel Cinematic Universe needs to hire the person that writes The Last of Us. Okay? Let's get it done, Marvel. Let's figure something out, Marvel. The writing at Marvel sucks. Okay? We need to get it together. Okay? The rating of this particular episode, I give it a 9. I give it a 9. This episode is a 9. This episode could be a 10. This episode could be a 10. I give it a 10. I'll give it a 10. I'll give it a 10. I would. I really wish that a lot of these episodes were a little bit longer like the first one was. But it's phenomenal. So if you didn't understand what I just did, I gave you my points on the acting. I gave you my points on the writing. I gave you my points on what I rated it as. And so now I'm about to get into a slight territory and spoilery kind of review. Not a long video though, right? Because there's nothing to say about this video. There's nothing to say about this episode. Phenomenal. So after the death of Henry and Sam, which had me crying like a punk, on episode 5, I was just like a ball of tears. So good, so good. We start this episode 6, 3 months later. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, they've been traveling, cool. But have they progressed further into the 3 months? And they haven't really. Which is, I don't know, let me drop it back down to a 9, which is interesting to me because I would think if you've been with this one person, traveling, walking through, riding through, whatever you've been doing through the world to get to the West Coast, right, or the west side of things, and y'all still asking questions about each other, it's just interesting. How did y'all make it this far? Like, has the relationship gotten tighter? I feel like each episode they're still learning each other. Like, Bella still doesn't know about the daughter dying. Bella still doesn't know how to properly use a gun. Bella still doesn't know how to do the hunting. And okay, cool. Like, he was the one trying to do all of that because he's trying to be, and indirectly, subconsciously, be this father figure for her. But I don't know. In my mind, after 3 months, she should know how to fight. She should know how to do some things. And mind you, I'm not even thinking about the game when I'm referencing this, because they've made some choices and some differences, creative differences with outside of the game with this show. So realistically, I'm thinking realistically, why doesn't she know how to do more? Why isn't she like more vigilant and more like ready to go and more like hard hitting? You know, she's still soft and still very demure and still doesn't know how to do much. Only thing that's changed is her mouth. Her mouth has gotten real reckless. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really like that aspect of it all. Like, you know, and it leads me to the end now. But anyways, so I had a problem with, you know, the jump, and then, you know, they get a leg up on this couple that are off in this cabin, you know, it's snowing or whatever. And I just love the energy of these actresses. She's like, yeah, no, did you tell them the truth? Yeah, your friend's scared now. Don't look a little girl. Like, she was really, I liked how she played that role, and it was great. Like, the acting is just, take me into another world, take me into another universe with your acting, and that's done. Everybody that's been on here takes me to another universe. Like, it pulls me into this universe, let me say that. So I thought the little cabin bit was cool, but Ellie is trying to cuss them out, and I'm like, first of all, y'all trying to ask them for help. Like, what? And I just like how nonchalant the couple was. Like, if you go over there, it's the river of death, you'll die. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. They leave the cabin. She steals a rabbit because she doesn't know how to get her own rabbit. Them some ugly looking rabbits. Some very horrendous looking rabbits. I was like, what kind of rabbit is that? But they make it to the river of death, and there's this moment where they're having dialogue. They're having conversation. They're still getting to know each other, even after 3 months. Okay. And so they get to this like part, and she's like, do you think this is the river of death? He looks at the map, and then all of a sudden they get surrounded by horses on horseback. And, you know, the guns are pointing at them. They're like, drop your weapons, all that. They got their hands up. And Joel is like freaking out. Joel is like freaking out. Mind you, when they left the cabin, he had like this almost like this heart attack thing, you know, panic attack or whatever you want to call it, he's having. Because, you know, life has taken a toll on him. Right. And so from there, you know, they got these horses, these people pointing at him with guns or whatever. And he's like, well, we're going to test you out with our dog. If you are sick, our dog will know. And our dog is going to tear you up, and we're going to shoot you on sight. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Here we go. What's going to happen? In my mind, I'm like, I know Ellie's not going to die, but like, what's about to happen to them? Because I don't remember this in the game. I played that game so long ago. But anyways, the dog goes up and sniffs him and sniffs him. Sniff Joel, loves Joel, hops on Joel, look at Joel, like, okay, I'm cool with you. And then come down, then he goes back. Then he's like, sniff the girl. And you know, the panic, the way that you're panicking at this moment, you feel it, the vibrations are high and trembling. You're like, oh my God, what's about to happen? And Joel is stuck. Joel can't do nothing because he got the guns pointed at him. The dog about to tear up Ellie to shreds. Ellie is like, what do I do? What do I do? But out of nowhere, the dog is loving on her because Ellie is not sick. You can read the virus on her, but she's not sick. And so I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then the black woman comes up, I forget it, Maria or Marie, you know, why are you here? I'm looking for my brother Tommy. What's your name? Joel. So we make it to this city. The town rather, is pretty dope. They got everything going. And it was nice to see like the after show when they were saying that this is a legit town and this town allowed them to do the things that they needed to do there. I thought that was dope, you know, real life situations. The only thing they built in there was the stable. I liked all that, knowing that was dope. But anyways, they're seeing this legit town with kids and people and school and laundry and heat and electricity and, you know, no one bothers them and it's fortified and all that sounds great. All that sounds amazing. But, you know, Ellie's not here for it. Ellie is still very much mean-spirited, very much not trustworthy, of course, because they almost got her killed by having the dog chew her up. But, you know, she's just not here for it. But what was so cool and what was so dope is that on episode 6, on this 9-episode run, apparently 9-episode season, we get to see Joel finally see Tommy. Tommy's looking good. Tommy's looking healthy, and like that when they see each other, it's acting. Oh my God, it's so good. Like, what are we talking about? The embrace on each other was just like so palpable. You felt it. And there was a little bit of like, oh damn, with Ellie, because Ellie done been with this dude for now, like 4 months, kind of 4 or 5 months now. They've been traveling, and so Ellie knows Joel, and Ellie is connected to Joel. Now Joel has a true family member that he could be connected with, And so it's like one of those situations where like, but it is what it is. Child, I can't tell if Marie is trustworthy or not, if she's cool people or not, if this town is cool people, but they let Joel and Ellie in, regardless, That's Tommy's brother. I felt like it was very annoying. Like, Joel was very annoying this episode because he was ready to split with Ellie, ready to leave the responsibility and put it on Tommy. Tommy has this new baby coming into the world, this new safe life, and I felt like it was horrible that Joel was wanting Tommy to give all of this up, to take on Joel's mission. I felt that was very selfish. I didn't like that part of Joel at all, and it just was selfish. It was selfish, and I was like, oh man, don't let me hate this character. Like, are you really about to let me hate this character? Like, are they really about to like separate, and he's about to just have Tommy disrupt his whole world to take Ellie out down to the Fireflies and potentially die when he's married to Marie and have a child coming? Like, what kind of sick crap is that? Like, I was so over it. Ellie hears their conversation, and Ellie is mad, but she is not too mad, but she's mad, but she can't really say anything because, like, at the end of the day, she's used to people leaving her. She's used to having to be alone. And her worst fear is being alone. And so it's just like, man, like, so good. The writing, amazing, right? And so they have their little bout, and she's like, I'm not your daughter, right? And he's like, don't you dare. Mind you, he had already lied. He lied to Tommy about Tess dying. And it's a lot going on in Joel in this episode. It's just a lot going on, right? But before we get to the conversation between him and Ellie about wanting to separate and leave, when he finally has a conversation with his brother and tells his brother the complete truth about everything, Pedro Pascal does something in this scene that you don't really see often. Who can do scenes like this that comes off the top of my head? Will Smith. Will Smith does an amazing monologue job. His monologues are amazing. But I've never looked at Pedro Pascal as an actor like that. Like, doesn't he play Mandalorian or something? Like, I hate that show. But like this, I never thought that he could accomplish something like this. His acting is Oscar worthy, period. He's sitting there having an intense conversation with his brother, and he's talking about the weaknesses that he's exhibiting over the months. And when he starts to cry and he starts to well up, I get emotional. It was so good. Like, this show is so freaking phenomenal. Amazing. I love the fact that Joel does decide to go with Ellie. And I know in the game that Joel dies in the game, but this is season 1. I'm not trying to see Joel die right now. Like, this show, if this show is all about Ellie, it's really not going to be much. Like, I'm so enthralled and connected to this show because of the connection that Ellie and Joel have. Every episode is just them. Every episode is them getting through. Every episode. That's what I want. That's what y'all need to give me that all season 1, all season 2. I'm not here for Joel dying and this being a Bella Ramsey show. It's not. Bella Ramsey is not giving this show without Joel. And to be quite honest, Joel is like massively the heart of the show, and Bella's like a fill-in. No shade. Bella is an amazing actress. I'm feeling it. But this show, for me, like, Pedro Pascal is like the Rick. Like what Rick was to The Walking Dead, Pedro Pascal is that to The Last of Us. It damn for sure ain't Bella Ramsey. What are we talking about here? And so now he gets shot, not shot, but he gets stabbed up and he dying. Like, oh my God. Like, I know he dies in the game, but he cannot die season 1. How are y'all even thinking about having a season 2 without Pedro Pascal. I don't see it. I don't see it. Anyways, this show is phenomenal, right? When he decides to like stay with her and he gives her the option and she quickly says, let's go to him because that's her heart, her comfort is Joel. Like, it's just so intense. And Joel is just like in agony right now, in pain. And Ellie has no idea. Joel is missing Tess. Joel is missing his daughter. Joel doesn't get to live a positive life like his brother does. He's still on this rampage ass mission to save the world and get Ellie to whoever she needs to get to, jeopardizing his life every day. Ellie doesn't get that. That doesn't even resonate or comprehend to her. But he decides to like, you know, whatever, still ride with her, and they're riding through the sunset day after day after day after day. We get to see how long this road is. That's why I'm like, they should know each other more. Like, Ellie should be a beast, like a beast of a fighter, a beast of a gun-toting chick by now. But he's still babying her. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We get to a point where they make it to where the fireflies are last known. They see the symbology or the symbols of the firefly, the signs of the fireflies that they were here. But it's empty. There's nobody here. They come across some scavengers or whatever, and it becomes a fight. And, you know, Joel gets stabbed. And, you know, he needs to treat the wound. What are they going to do now? Where's the help? Ellie's out here by herself. Like, what is she going to do? I don't know. But it goes off. And I'm like, okay, don't kill him, because in the next clip, we don't see him at all. In the previews to the next episode, we don't see him at all. So it's like, what's about to happen? I'm annoyed. I don't know, but this episode was really, really good. I'll give it a 9, because a 9. It's not a 10. I don't like the fact that Ellie still is like helpless, and they've been together all this time. But anyways, leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought about The Last of Us episode 6. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave all that below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this video, and visit watchactv.com, where I showcase my film in ACTV shop, where I have clothing online for you to purchase. Deuces.